You didn't wake up this morning thinking you were going to play Test cricket for Australia.
Yeah, look, unbelievable, obviously, to actually get to play at Lords. You know, although in strange circumstances, yeah, it was still a privilege and an honour.
When did you find out? How did you find out?
I mean, yesterday, obviously, when it happened, you kind of put the pieces together and go, well, if it does unfold and he's not all right, then, you know, I'm potentially the like for like. But it was this morning. We're actually having a training session facing Stark, Cummins, Stark and Paddo and Ness in the nets, and I was batting there for a bit, and I think Painey walked down, and he kind of looked at me and said, "You're in, mate." And that's when I was like, righto. Like, still finished my net, had a few more balls, and then sort of walked out and said, righto, well, now's just time to, focus and get your mind right.
What was it like facing, or just coming out firstly and then facing that over from Jofra Archer, where he's got your second ball in the grill, isn't he?
Yeah. I think what it does do is makes you on. It means you there's no mucking around. You're watching the ball and you're trying to work as hard as you can to see that ball as early as you can. That's the benefit of facing someone that fast in your sort of first few balls. Then it was just about making sure you stick to your processes and your plans that you've got.
How rattled were you when it hit you in the grill though? I mean, obviously what happened yesterday to Steve, and then you caught one in the grill. I mean, did it rattle you at all?
I mean, it got me flush, but it was just get up and get on with it. I think that was my sort of. I just wanted to get up, make sure, because if you get hit, obviously it gets you more. It got me quite flush in the grill, so that took most of the blow, and you get up and try and act cool. So and then it was just about trying to refocus and make sure you're watching that ball again, because I watched that one pretty close.
There's a lot of blokes in this test getting hit, whether it was the arm or the gloves of the body or the head. Do you think? I mean, was that just the pitch, or do you think for the rest of the series now that it's going to be sort of all about intimidation and bounces?
Look, I think the pitch did have a bit to do with it. The ball wasn't sort of kissing upwards when he was bowling shorter, so it was going more, the trajectory was a bit flatter, which makes it harder to get out of the way of the shorter balls. But look, it may be a thing for the rest of the series, but like you said, it's our job as batters. We've got to find a way to score off those balls or get out of the way.
And what about your dismissal? What was the conversation like with Joe, and what was your take on? Was it a catch?
Look, the decision is final, obviously. On replay, as a fielder, sometimes you feel like you've caught it, and that may have been the case. Definitely, when I saw it on replay, I was like, "Oh, it looks like it bounced," but I'm not a umpiring professional, so I'll leave that up to them. And obviously disappointing to get out that way, and obviously put us in a position where, put us under a little bit of pressure. So that was disappointing from my end. But like I said, it's not my decision, and it's theirs.
About playing it cool, like you said, that's the natural instinct, right? When you get hit, you want to go. But how much has it changed now? Because the doctor is going to come, he is going to ask you the questions. So then to refocus, is it different now to how it was?
Maybe a little bit, but you kind of just want to stay calm and make sure you answer his questions properly. I think sometimes, even then today, I was like, I know where I am. I'm good. Just get off the field. But there's a process now, and there's no way I wanted to get off the field. You wanted to stay in the contest, and getting to play at Lords is pretty great experience. So you just want to make sure you're ready, and you just listen to and follow their instructions is the key. And I think 98% of the time they're going to make great decisions, and if you have to come off, it's obviously because you're not all right. And obviously in my case, I was lucky enough that I was, and I was feeling fine. I just jumped the gun a bit on the questions. I was like, look, I know where I am. I know what test. I know how many I'm on. I'm on 0, and that was a fast bouncer. So that's sort of how it goes.
You've talked about watching a lot of classic test matches and whatever on YouTube, and Ashes matches like 05. But being thrown out there in the middle of that, did it compare into as an experience to things that you've watched?
Well, it's obviously different when you're watching it, because you're watching it sometimes with like a different view. But when you're actually in it, it's more the adrenaline, the rush, getting in the game. And look, I loved it out there. It was a great experience. It was great fun. But more importantly, it's a draw, and it means we're one win away.
Your first Test involvement was as a sub fielder. You're the first concussion sub. Are you getting a bit typecast?
Yeah, look, I think I was the first person to get done for fake fielding. I was the first sub to catch a short leg catch. So there's a lot of firsts, but like I said, it's just part of it, and that's the point. You just want to be ready, because especially with the new rule, it brings it into play. You can be, 1 minute you're hitting balls in the nets, and all of a sudden you're playing. So it can happen very quickly.
What happens to the mood of the change room when you got someone like Jofra bowling the way he did, and how did the atmosphere in the change room here differ to what it was in Edgbaston when he wasn't around?
Like I said, it just adds another dimension to their attack. We're all up and ready to go, and we want to get into the challenge and into the contest. But he bowled really well at times. His length was really good, and obviously he tested us with the short stuff on this up and down wicket. So we need to make sure we're ready, and we will be.
Sorry, what's your week like now? If you're, knowing if Steve's right, you might not play. If he's not, you do play. How do you prepare? Do you just prepare as if you're going to play?
Yeah, absolutely. Personally, from my perspective, you're just preparing and getting ready to play, because, the other alternative is you're just not. So it's a simple to fix the other one. But yeah, for me, it's just getting ready and making sure, like I said, stick it to my process, not overcomplicating it, and just relaxing and enjoying the moment.
Was it difficult to miss out on playing the first Test? Did you have to? Was that a bit of a wrestle for you?
When you're batting well, you obviously want to be playing, because there's a lot of times where, as a cricketer, you might be struggling a little bit or you're not going that well. So when you're playing well, you want to be playing. It was disappointing, but winning an Ashes is a squad thing, and obviously it showed just the importance of everyone in the squad being ready to play, because at any stage in the game, you could be called upon.
One thing, obviously you had to put your blow to the grill, I guess out of your mind and concentrate on the next ball, etc. How do you put, when you're watching something like, Steve getting hit, how do you put that out of your mind as at the boundary's edge?
I think personally, being out there is probably less nerve-wracking than being off the field. When when he got hit, I had a bit of a sick feeling. You're helpless. Well, when you're out there and you're in the contest, the adrenaline's rushing. You're pretty much all you're doing is trying to watch that ball. But when you're sort of off field and your kind of hands are tied and you just it's a little bit of a shock to the system. But when you're out there, it's all guns blazing. You're just watching the ball as hard as you can.